The galaxy is trembling, and it's not because of a Death Star. 8 years after Star Wars, The Last Jedi tore fans apart. Mark Hamill, the Jedi legend himself, has dropped a bombshell that's reigniting the Star Wars saga's most explosive controversy. Was Luke Skywalker's legacy tarnished by a director's bold vision, or was Hamill's public outcry a misunderstanding that fueled a decade of fan rage? Buckle up, because we're diving into a story of loyalty, betrayal, and a secret backstory so dark it'll leave you questioning everything you thought you knew about the Force. A Jedi's regret. Picture this. It's 2017 and Star Wars, The Last Jedi hits theaters. Fans are buzzing, expecting to see their hero, Luke Skywalker, ignite his green lightsaber and save the galaxy. Instead, they get a grizzled, broken hermit who's turned his back on the Jedi Order. The internet erupts. Tweets flood in. "This isn't MY Luke Skywalker," screams at Star Wars fan for life. "Rian Johnson ruined everything," cries at Jedi Master 99. But the real shock? Mark Hamill himself seemed to agree. In a now infamous 2017 interview, he declared, "He's not my Luke Skywalker. Maybe he's Jake Skywalker."
Ouch.
The fandom went nuclear, and a narrative was born. Hamill hated director Rian Johnson. Or did he? Fast forward to June 28, 2025. Hamill steps onto the bullseye with Jesse Thorne podcast, promoting his new film The Life of Chuck. But it's not just about Stephen King adaptations. Hamill drops a bombshell. "I'd love to clear this up. Rian Johnson is one of the most gifted directors I've ever worked with." Wait, what? No feud? No bad blood? The man who once called Luke's arc a fundamental disagreement now says The Last Jedi is a great movie. So, what really happened behind the scenes of the most divisive Star Wars film ever? Let's break it down. A galaxy divided. Star Wars, The Last Jedi, released in 2017, wasn't just a movie. It was a cultural earthquake. Directed by Rian Johnson, it grossed over $1.3 billion worldwide, but its bold choices, like Luke tossing his lightsaber and hiding on Octu, split fans down the middle. Some hailed it as a masterpiece, with critics praising its refreshing complexity. Variety, 2017. Others? Not so much. Rian Johnson disrespected Luke's legacy, roared at Force Fury on X. Luke would never give up. The backlash was relentless, with petitions demanding the film be struck from canon. At the heart of the storm was Mark Hamill, the man who'd embodied Luke Skywalker since 1977's A New Hope. During the press run, he didn't hold back. "I said to Rian, Jedi don't give up," Hamill told Entertainment Tonight in 2018. If he made a mistake, he would try and right that wrong. Fans latched onto every word, turning Hamill's critiques into ammunition. Posts on X like @LucasWorld's 2025 jab. Mark Hamill took another swipe at Rian Johnson's mishandling of his legendary character. Kept the fire burning. But was Hamill really at war with Johnson? Or was this a case of the fandom blowing things out of proportion? The battle behind the scenes. Let's rewind to 2017. Hamill reads the script for The Last Jedi and feels a gut punch. Luke, the hero who faced Darth Vader and saved the galaxy, is now a suicidal hermit, blaming himself for Ben Solo's turn to the dark side. "I saw entire planets wiped out," Hamill told Johnson, arguing Luke's resilience would have pushed him to fight harder, not retreat. But Johnson had a vision, a broken Luke, haunted by failure, who needed Rey to reignite his spark. Hamill wasn't convinced. "I fundamentally disagree with your concept of this character," he admitted to Johnson. Yet, ever the professional, he added, "I'm going to do everything within my power to make your screenplay work." To get into Luke's headspace, Hamill crafted a backstory so tragic it could have been its own Star Wars movie. In his mind, Luke had a wife and child. One day, the toddler found an unattended lightsaber, activated it, and died instantly. The wife, consumed by grief, took her own life. That resonated with me, Hamill said on Bullseye, drawing parallels to real-world tragedies like the 87 unintentional shootings by children in 2025 alone. Everytownresearch.org. This dark headcanon helped him justify Luke's exile, but he admitted Rian didn't have time to tell a backstory like that. The media fallout was intense. Outlets like Fandom Wire ran headlines. Mark Hamill had to use an extreme method to bring a nonsensical story to life. Fans on X piled on, with that SW_Holocron posting, Mark Hamill regrets going public with his dissatisfaction. Maybe I should have kept that to myself. But when Hamill saw the final cut, something shifted. The staging of the standoff between Kylo Ren and I at the end is so well staged, he praised, calling Johnson's work a great movie. The feud narrative? Nothing could be further from the truth, Hamill insisted. A hero's evolution. To understand Hamill's journey, we need to look at Luke's legacy. In 1977, he was the farm boy who became a Jedi legend. By 2015's The Force Awakens, J.J. Abrams, not Johnson, put Luke on that island, setting the stage for his exile. Johnson's Last Jedi built on that, showing Luke's guilt over failing Ben Solo, who destroyed his Jedi temple and became Kylo Ren. Hamill's resistance wasn't just personal. It reflected a deeper clash between the original trilogy's optimism and the sequel trilogy's darker tone. Hamill's outspokenness wasn't new. He's always been candid, from joking about George Lucas' prequel changes to quipping about not returning as a naked Force ghost. But his Last Jedi comments hit differently because they tapped into a fandom already fractured by The Force Awakens and Rogue One. The Last Jedi's 91% Rotten Tomatoes score clashed with its 43% audience score, fueling debates that rage on in 2025. As at Facts and Film posted on X, Hamill said Johnson made an all-time great film, but the damage was done. Fans had already painted him as Team Anti-Rian. Johnson, meanwhile, moved on to Knives Out and its sequels, with Wake Up Dead Man set for December 2025. His Star Wars trilogy, announced in 2017, remains in limbo, with Lucasfilm's Kathleen Kennedy saying, "The door is always open." But as Screen Rant noted in June 2025, Johnson's Star Wars future looks grim. The fan divide, amplified by Hamill's early critiques, may have played a role. A Jedi's heart. Here's where I get real. As a Star Wars fan, I felt that gut punch in 2017 too. Seeing Luke broken hurt, but Hamill's commitment to the role, despite his doubts, shows the heart of a true Jedi. His willingness to bare his soul, even if it backfired, makes him more relatable than ever. He's not just Luke Skywalker, he's a guy wrestling with a legacy bigger than himself.
And Johnson?
The man took risks, and while not every choice landed, that final Luke-Kylo standoff gave me chills. Hamill's regret for going public feels like a lesson in humility, something we could all learn from in a world quick to judge. What do you think? Was Hamill right to question Luke's arc, or should he have stayed silent? Did The Last Jedi ruin Luke Skywalker, or was it a bold evolution? Drop your thoughts in the comments.